Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is day 15 of Inktober. We are halfway through this month. Well, technically tomorrow marks the exact halfway point for this month, but still, we're getting it. We're going through. We got this. So here we are. As you know, this week's theme is continuing with the galaxy theme, and really, I think the best part and the most fun thing about doing a theme like this, in my personal opinion, is that it's really kind of like a free draw and just having fun and letting your drawing take over and do its own thing and seeing where it goes, all of the above, I guess, in a manner of speaking. But yeah, and that's really what was kind of fun with this. The only thing that I knew about this piece when I went in, or knew to the extent of having it pre-planned, was that I wanted her to have some long, flowy, ridiculous hair, because that was where I was gonna primarily put my galaxy painting at. Now, and the other thing that I wanted was a strong contrast, and trying to figure out what that contrast was going to be. So I kind of figured it out as I went, and that's where the fun of it is. Now, I did try and do my best to kind of show you briefly, obviously it's sped up, how I kind of figure out my colors. And I just put a bunch of water in some palettes, and then I add a couple drops, and I didn't even really use the black. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, and sometimes I even rarely use the purple color, because I like the purple that the teal and the magenta kind of create together, and it kind of adds that differential. But when I want a nice deep purple, that's when I'll make sure to add the purple lake color and kind of create my little pastel galaxy. Now, I don't know if you guys have kind of noticed, but my goal, and I think I'm gonna just kind of see if I can keep it up and see where it goes, is I've been kind of working on slowly darkening the galaxy colors until I'm gonna get to real nice pure pigment kind of galaxy display. So it is a process, and we'll see how it goes, but I'm looking forward to it. Now, one thing I will say is that as I started inking, actually before I even started inking at this point, I'm absolutely in love with the way that her skin tone is, and it kind of has that super faint pastel look and glow to it, and I really thought about keeping it for myself, and I had debated with myself going in a different direction than I had kind of foreseen as I was drawing this, just because of that. And part of me is kind of like, oh, I should have, but at the same time, like, I knew where I wanted to take this, and I felt like I had a good idea of how it might turn out. Even though I will say the only plan that I had with this was the contrast being heavy line work, and instead what I ended up doing, and it kind of came to me on the spot as I was working with the ink, was I laid some heavy inking shadowing with this, and I actually love the way that it turned out. I didn't know how it's going to turn out. I was kind of nervous about messing with it, but this time around I was sure to just ink with my brush and the waterproof Dr. P.H. Martin's black pigment matte ink, and it saved me. It's because on purpose I'm using watercolor paper so that I knew I could build layers, and that's what I really wanted to do, was kind of build layers and experiment and see where this piece was going to take off. And I love how it got there, and I love moments throughout before I even add anything additionally, and then I love how it ended up in the end, how it ended in the end. Yep. All that good stuff, But I think it was just fun, and like I said, the best part about a theme kind of like this is, which is a bit more broad, is that you can experiment and you can kind of explore using the ink and seeing how the ink flows and how it works, and really giving it a feel for where it could go. And honestly, the only reason that I went as dark with the shadow black ink as I did was because I kind of had a happy little accident happen where I was laying down some shadow ink with a black ink wash, and I didn't realize that some of my ink in the filigree or in the leaf work was still a bit wet, so it picked up all of that extra ink and it created a really dark spot. And I was like, oh, how am I gonna fix this? Where am I gonna go with this? And I decided that that could actually be really cool if I did kind of a heavy dark kind of cloud to really, and even with her neck, like really contrast the more pastel galaxy hair and really allow the hair to be highlighted and be seen a bit more prominently as the real, like, only color fixture in this piece that stands out. And I think overall it really brought it together quite well, and I'm really quite happy with how this turned out. You can see that I do a lot of layering by laying down the washed out pigment and then lifting it so that I can get the shade that I want without going too bold too fast. Because, you know, while I do sometimes lighten up my wash and layer it that way, sometimes I like to just lay a bit heavier of a pigmented wash and then lift it and see the effect that it creates. Because the nice thing with doing that too, if you're just having fun and experimenting, is that it does lay kind of a cloudy effect, because the pigment can stain in different ways, and also the texture of like your paper towel or your cloth, if you're using a cloth that lifts, like, can create a different kind of effect on your pattern and on the way that you are doing it. And I had a lot of fun with it. I think it overall, the dark to the pastel bright poppy galaxy hair kind of really fit well together, and I think it came together really cute. And I purposely this time, instead of really adding any like black spots to this, I wanted just highlighted white spots kind of everywhere and stars everywhere, and creating just an overall flow and effect throughout this piece. And I really look forward to experimenting more with this kind of style and just this kind of letting the inks flow and have fun with it and see where it goes. Especially, you know, like I said, I'm kind of slowly working on darkening the galaxy more and more until we get the really nice deep pigmented galaxy effects towards the end. So here she is, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this piece. It was a lot of fun to make and kind of experiment with. And as always, I hope that you guys have a super fantastic day. Take it easy, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.